Sorry for the horrible background noise. I can't do anything about that. It's the AC in my dorm, and I can't turn it off. So I'm terribly sorry about the horrible background noise. But people wanted tutorial on FamiTracker. So first you have to download FamiTracker. It's a free program. So you just go here and just download it. I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to re-download it. So you launch FamiTracker, and you see this. Basically, you have this is the equivalent of the piano roll in FL Studio, so it's kind of like this. You basically first, and this is the instrument panel right here. I hope my mouse actually is showing up. But this is the instrument panel right here, and you basically click to add an instrument. And I'll show you what you can do with that later. This is the tempo, which is self-explanatory. The rows basically control how many actual rows are in per frame. And you can click to insert a frame here, and that's basically inserting an actual an extra segment to the song. Each thing has a pulse and a triangle and noise. DPCM I never mess around with. If you want to figure that out, you can figure that out on your own, because I don't know how to use it. Noise is basically just this is what I use as my drum. Octave, just change the octave. It's self-explanatory. I'll put up my volume so it doesn't more. I'll plug in my headphones so there's no echo. Yeah, this is a very informal tutorial. It's just showing you approximately how to use this, how I make my music. So sometimes you'll see that becomes gray, and all you have to do is just press spacebar to change it. So spacebar basically changes it from blue to red, and sometimes it goes that, so you have to click on that to do that. So red basically puts the notes onto the piano roll. I'm calling it the piano roll because I don't actually know what the actual thing is called. Blue makes you hear noise without actually putting it onto the piano roll. Is it still recording? I don't want to keep talking if it's not recording. Yeah, it is. So blue keeps doing just that. And so let's go to the instrument panel now. So you double click on an instrument to pull this thing up. Volume, you have to click this, and it basically controls the volume. So you add certain amount of things, sequences, and you can draw a curve or however you want it to be, and you can see how that affects that. Arpeggio, so you can have multiple things, but it's easier to explain it when the volume is not when it's not there. So arpeggio is basically it creates an arpeggio. An arpeggio is basically it's a sequence of notes. It's easier to explain it when it's easier to hear it when here you can just type in the note values. 0, each one represents a step. So C is 0, or not really C, but the note is your bass note. So if you click on C, then C is 0, and C sharp is 1, and D is 2, and so on. So you basically can type in that here. So I'm going to type in 0, 4, 7. And you had to hit enter, I forgot. You had to hit enter. So that creates your basic regular chord that I don't know what it's called. I don't know enough music theory. So then you copy this and you can paste it to have it multiple times, as many as you want to. So there's that. Pitch is basically a fine-tuning of an individual note. So it's in between each note. I don't use this. I don't think anyone really uses that. Same with this one. I don't know what this one does. It doesn't do much. Well, it does do something, but I don't use it. Duty cycle, I use this. Basically, I'll show you. You have a wave, so let's have our center line, and so this is going to be really crappy looking, but this is a 50% duty cycle. So that's a 50% duty cycle. And this is like a 25% duty cycle. You get the idea. That's basically a duty cycle. The laptop is heating up rapidly, so I'll close Photoshop out. So basically it's set to 0, which I think is 25%. I don't know what it is actually. And you can see how this changes. You can see how this changes, and you can add different duties. I don't usually mess around with adding extra duty cycles. Extra things like this. I usually just I just usually mess around with this one singular one. And yeah. That's basically that. So I'm just gonna have it set to 50% duty, I think. I think that's 50% duty. You can see the oscilloscope reading out up there. So you can see how the duty cycle is 50%. And you can see how it's 25% there. And I guess that's 10% or something like that. And this is 75%, as you can see. Sorry, I have a slight headache, so yeah. You have this, and now it's time to actually put it. So your keys are mapped to certain things, certain keys. So Z is C, S is C sharp, X is D, and so on. You just have to learn eventually how to what keys are what, and you just have to kind of do it by ear. I don't really say, oh, I'm going to put like C, D, E, F, G, and I usually just listen to it and it's like, oh, this sounds right. So you don't really have to know much music theory to actually use this program, unlike in FL Studios where you really kind of have to know some music theory. But FamiTracker is very straightforward, very easy to use. Yeah, you can also add new instruments, and I'll do that later. Oh, and the triangle, so pulse 1 and pulse 2 are the square waves. Triangle is its own triangle wave. So if I click over here, you hear how it sounds different, and you can see the oscilloscope is a triangle. So also if you click on the thing, it'll be a solo. So oh, and these ones up here, they basically change the time signature. You just gotta mess around with them. This will change like the denominator of the time signature. So don't usually change that. And this usually changes the numerator of it. So like you can kind of see how every 3 rows now, every fourth one is kind of highlighted in yellow. I usually keep it in 4/16 4/4/4 time. So now you just oh, and these numbers here, that's the instrument number, so you can change that. There's far more to FamiTracker than what I currently use, but I'm just showing you how I personally make songs. But yeah, let's make a short little song right now. So what key do you want it to be in? Let's see, how about F sharp? C, D. So F sharp, and then let's see, what else should I put? So you hear that, and so you see how it continues so that as long as it holds like that, it'll continue to do that. So you press 1 to cut off the note at a certain point. Oh wait, that's why it's really weird. It's highlighted every 15. 16. There we go. No, go back to 16. What are you doing? So, you press the 1 key to cause the note to cut off. You see that? Otherwise the note will just continue to sound without stopping until it hits another note. And you can't, so if I press C sharp again, it just continues. But if you hit 1 in between, you'll get that. You'll get that. The desired effect. So let's in Control A just selects all. Whoops. Also, the scroll wheel on your mouse will also change the will also get it'll navigate you. Sometimes it does weird things that I don't know why it does it. So now if you want to repeat that, you go up here and you can duplicate the frame by right clicking and clicking duplicate frame, or if you want to just duplicate the patterns, you without actually changing, which basically creates a new thing without actually because if you hit, so for instance, if you put duplicate frame, you have the same one here and you don't have to redo that. So you see how it already has that. But if you change this thing here, or you change it here, it also changes this one and any other instance of it. But if you click duplicate patterns, it duplicates the patterns, but if you change one, it doesn't change the other. So for instance, let's remove this one and remove this one, and let's click duplicate patterns, because I want this one, the same thing, but in pulse 2 I want a completely different sound. So see, I have to put the stop thing over there so that it actually stops the sound. So now I can change this ending part. want this to be an octave higher. So go up here. So we got one part of it, and for pulse 2 you'd probably want to add a new instrument so it doesn't clash with that one. And usually I change the duty so that it sounds a little different. And let's see, what did I have this one as? It's also that, so let's change this to 25%. So this is a crappy song, I know, but it's just an example song. So now I want both of these to be duplicated. So I want to click duplicate frame and move this down. And I want to duplicate this one and move it down. So now this repeats twice. Well, it repeats once, I mean. So now let's go and do the triangle, and you'll see that I just need to do it twice. Or what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have it so that it I'll show you something. Show another mechanic of this. That doesn't sound good. So now if I want to duplicate that, I just have to click here and type 00, and click here and type 00, and that basically changes that, so that such that the frame changes to the frame for triangle changes to that singular thing. So first part of this, let's change the tempo so it's slower. Let's keep it at 120. How about that? What does that sound like? So now let's add a new frame, shall we? You'll see that it has 22122. That's because this is an empty frame for triangle. Don't worry about that. Just continue editing as you normally would. So make sure you have the right instrument selected. Let's see. Why did you respond? Oh, I'm clicking the wrong one. It goes back there, and if you want to just click at a certain point, it goes back. Just click the thing, click the frame on the frame editor. So we have that. Let's create pulse 2. So we select instrument 1. So say that you have it selected like that. All you need to do is go to this one and type, double click on that. I mean, just hit, it didn't have to double click, just hit 1 on there, and then it goes back to that. And then now you have 1 selected. So now you just select it. So now I realize that I want to change the octave of the pulse 2. So you just double click on the thing so that it does that, and you click transpose. If you want to change the key, you just click increase note or decrease note. That changes the whole key of the song. But you have to make sure you do it for each column, and for each frame. Otherwise it'll sound weird and it'll sound dissonant. But I just want to decrease the octave. So now all I have to do is go to each panel and click transpose and put decrease octave. And I only have to do that for each numbered one, because if it's like 0, 0, 1, well, if it's duplicated. So now I can go back to the beginning and you'll hear the difference. See, it's much better now. So this will change soon. So now I want to duplicate this one. I want to duplicate the patterns and not the frame, because I want to change the ending of this. See, that's, I need to change this to 0, 0. And now I want to change the triangle. Oops, I don't want it to be an 8 notes, I want it to be like this. Sometimes I have to change the octave so that I can hit the lower notes. So I realized I put this in the wrong one, so I just select all, copy, go up to the top here and paste it here, and then I'm going to change this one to 0, 1. Now I want to duplicate these again. And move that down. And duplicate this again. And move that down. And now I have a viable song, but I said 1 minute long. Let's see. I usually keep my songs 1 minute long. starts looping again. Yeah, it's approximately 1 minute long, so I would say that this is a viable song for a loop and for NES. So that's basically how to use FamiTracker. If you have any questions about FamiTracker, just ask me. I'll try and answer them as best as possible. If you want me to create another tutorial explaining like how to use the node editor better, and how to how to change the module, you can, this is like for the NES, but you can expand that by like BRC6, and you can have more pulses. Oh, I forgot to do the noise channel. So let's do back to NES channels only. Let's see. I like to keep the octave at 0 because that makes it easier to create the noise channels. And then I just want to duplicate all of these, so I just hit 0, 0 for all of this. So now you have the full song made. Of course it can be longer. So that's basically how to use FamiTracker. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm not the expert on FamiTracker, but I know it pretty decently. So if you want to know what it's like, you can do that. You can just ask me. Also, you can you can load an instrument from file. So for instance, that's the same one that I have to be on. Let's just put it on spacebar mode. So oops, wrong instrument. Huh, that's weird. It's not. There we go. And I keep saying add, and you can save the instrument, so you can just save it whatever you want to save it as. And for instance, this creepy one, then I need to put it in a higher octave. Oh, that's why I'm on. Yeah, I keep doing this. This is what I used for the Haunted Printer song. And And yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and if you want to create the nest file, you can click here and create the nest file, or you can create the WAV, and you can click it such that you can this is self-explanatory. And let's have it play for 10 times, and let's call that, that's weird, there we go. Let's call this tutorial. So, and let's save this file too. Now, sometimes you have like this shifted down a little bit. At that point, you want to take it into Audacity. So, for instance, for that other song, the Red Army's the Strongest song, I had to shift the delete part of it. So, like, let's see if I can find it. So for instance, this starts a little bit later, so you want to just zoom in and just select this part, delete it, and then just save it. Save, export audio, and stuff like that. Thanks for watching.